Okay, good morning, good morning. Should be able to see and hear. Jiggle, jiggle. Welcome, welcome. To live stream on YouTube. Good morning, good morning. Hopefully y'all enjoyed your weekend. Today's Tuesday, November 12th. Jackie. Rick, Terry. CT. All right, cool. So this is going to be an hour stream as usual, right? Quick morning prep. What Max? Good morning, everybody. Daniel King. All right, so we're going to run this for about an hour or so, right? Pre-morning prep. Look at what's kind of going on. Hopefully y'all had a monstrous week last week. It was a record-breaking week across multiple asset classes. Bitcoin, Tesla, Coinbase, MSTR. Things are on fire. But just be careful, right? Things have to calm down a little bit. So that's what we're going to talk a little bit about. And let's dive in. I think I got this as best as I can kind of get it. So we should be good there, right? Okay, cool. Let's dive in. Let's dive into the charts. Mr. Blue here from TradePhantoms.com. About an hour, right? We'll do some stuff. Let's dive into it. As always, just real quick, I always bring this up just really briefly. You know, the foundation of Phantoms here is demand supply, institutional order flow, higher top-down approach, okay, monthly, weekly, daily. Kind of have things color-coded here. Quick checklist for the team, right, to kind of get your trade plan started, all that good stuff, right? So orange, yellow, blue is the color code for monthly, weekly, daily, okay? I bring this up every day. We got location of candlesticks, candlestick patterns, right? Super important. The price action, right? Location of where these are located are most important. Bearish here. Same thing, location being the most important. And then we have liquidity map, one of my favorite things to trade here. Being on the right side, knowing what side of the market to be on, who's in control, buyers or sellers, et cetera, uptrends, downtrends, range, et cetera, condition. So there's your quick little run around real quick. Noteworthy things here for news. You know, I mean, I don't think anything is going to top last week. We had Fed, we had election. All the central bank, not all, but a lot of central banks came out with their rates, including the U.S. So last week was insane, right? And the price action dictates that or shows that. Today, fairly calm for the most part here in the U.S. We got a couple of small, FOMC, Waller speaks, Hacker speaks. You know, they're not going to be too much of a big deal. I mean, Jay Powell barely spoke when he was doing the rate announcement last week. He was just barely speaking, just giving yes or no answers, right? Looking tired. So, it's already done. All right. Tomorrow, I will say though, tomorrow CPI. So essentially. Today and coming into today and early part this week, yesterday's SPYs, SPX, S&P futures, Nasdaq, fairly quiet. Bitcoin on fire, Tesla on fire, MSTR, Coinbase, those are still on fire, right? For the most part. But in terms of indexes, it was pretty quiet yesterday, being Monday, right? Today's obviously now Tuesday. The reason why I bring this up is kind of a digestion from last week's madness, right? Good madness if you're on the right side of things. Okay, we were, Phantoms, we're doing very, 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 very well. Okay. So anyways, the point that I'm trying to make is that tomorrow, big news announcement CPI before the market opens. Okay. So just make sure you're aware of that. Okay, that's a big mover. Okay, something that the Fed looks at. Thursday brings us into PPI. Okay, which is another big one there. Then we do have Fed chair speaking tomorrow, Thursday, 3 p.m. He already said what he needed to say. This is just a panel discussion for global perspectives, right? It'd be pretty cool to kind of tune into that just to see kind of what he says there. Maybe you got some rest over the weekend because he looked tired. He looked tired last week, taking those questions. And then Friday we don't really have much, but core retail sales. Retail sales. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Retail sales are fairly important as well. So we got this week. We got CPI and retail sales is just some news catalyst that I would recommend to be aware of. Okay, we got SPYs all-time highs. All right, yesterday, I'm on a daily chart of the SPYs here, but I'll kind of go through some routine here in a moment. I do notice that the sectors are kind of calmed down a bit, but let me go over here to Thinkorswim and I'll start this off somewhat formally here, and I'll start with the major 4 indexes regarding futures. So look at the S&P futures on the upper left daily time frame, NASDAQ upper right daily, Dow Jones lower left daily, of course, and then we get the Russell 2000 on the bottom right daily time frame. Okay, so I'll just pop this open just real quick, and not much to say here other than yeah, markets are at all-time highs, right? Markets at all-time highs, a nice big impulse move. So there's some stuff up here that we could just continue to kind of like grind higher, make quick little new highs, or we could just break out to the upside. Now S&Ps are already up. I'd say over 25% already for the year now. So going into November, we only have a month and a half, give or take, for the end of the year. So I mean, we'll see. I'm not really expecting too much higher. Okay, we have the SPX, what's called the, if I just rabbit hole really briefly. From futures into SPX, because SPX is a major market, right? So the one thing that I will that maybe you can make a note of, especially for for YouTubers, is that there's a JP Morgan caller trade. I don't want to get into it right now. That takes a lot of time to get into, but the point that I'm trying to make here is that they have short calls at 60.55. Okay, 60.55. Now every quarter they roll their caller trade. Okay, you can maybe look up on that. The JEHQX. Okay, basically, in short, it's a trading strategy. It's a caller. Then what they do is they rotate every quarter. Okay, they are long the market. Okay, they are long the market, and what they do is they sell covered calls against it, and they buy protective puts. Okay, they buy protective puts, and then what they also do is they sell deep out of the money puts as well to fund that protection of the puts. So they kind of buy insurance, but they insure it with sold calls and sold puts, deep out of the money sold puts. And they kind of give up, or they could potentially, they do give up, or they kind of give up some upside from that. Okay, so it's a very kind of let's say kind of conservative. Okay, they take hold of the upside. Okay, but they also have some put insurance in the event that we have like a major kind of, I don't want to say crash, but big drop, or event, in the event that we do have a crash, they're protected, okay, with some long puts from their portfolio, and then they're trying to get that funded by selling calls and then selling deep out of the money puts. Okay, that's the skinny of it, really quick of it. Now, why do I bring that up right now? What does that have to do with us? Well, it's important to note, okay, if you're a professional trader, of what JP Morgan is doing. JP Morgan is a big whalehouse, big company, right? And they're one of the biggest trading firms, right? So the point I'm trying to make is that short call is 60.55. So I'm not really sure how much more we are going to get up or above this 60.55 on SPX. Right now, yesterday we put in the high about 6,017, give or take. Okay, so we're already kind of kissing or about to kiss this 60.55 handle here. Okay, now we still have a month and a half to trade for the year. Okay, but just know that we could go lower, right? Markets just don't go straight up, right? So we could pull back. Okay, we could pull back. A couple of things just really quick while I'm here before I go back to futures. Just really quickly, here's SPY SPY. Okay, on a daily time frame, and as you can see, we're up there. Okay, we're up there, folks. This is the year of 2024. Okay, so just a nice, massive, uptrend, big impulse correction, big impulse. There goes the correction from August. Okay, nice correction, and then we have another nice little wave impulse, higher high. Okay, so we're up there, right? So the point that I'm trying to make is that is that, be pretty interesting. This was once the all-time high. We kind of broke that. Okay, post-election, we have this massive gap fill here. So I would definitely want to put that on your radar. Okay, there's a massive gap fill here. I'll call that in later, kind of like a darker gray to kind of point that out for the team. Okay, but one of the first things that I'm looking for, I'm not sure if this is going to fill, okay, very quickly. Okay, it's probably going to take some time there, potentially, all catalyst non being included if nothing major happens. But the first thing that I'm kind of looking at is, okay, this was once the all-time high. Okay, we broke that. We could potentially get a retest of this as well. Okay, anywhere between now and before potentially the end of the year. Okay, and if that does happen and we break that, we could be now going back down into here onto the gap fill area. Okay, and these kind of orange and yellow lines are going to be the monthly and weekly VWAPs. Okay, and this is why I color code things, so I know exactly kind of what I'm looking at. So if I see an orange VWAP, I know that that's a monthly VWAP. Okay. Long story short, if I'm talking very fast, this is going to be a rebalance area potentially right here, right? What was once supply broke out to new high, we could just have a nice little retest, pretty simple technical analysis, very simple stuff, okay? So see if we can get a retest on that. Okay, and that doesn't mean to short the market right now and that we're going to get down here, okay? In Phantoms, we have this thing called, ripping tape, trading tape. And so, again, we can fade a little bit higher, higher, higher. Okay, we can go up higher more, okay, before we have a correction. Okay, so try not to, what I try to train traders to do is try not to think too much and put some kind of scenario of what is going to happen in your brain, and then subconsciously you're looking for that to happen, and you're not seeing that happen, and then you're trading what you think is what should happen, and you're not trading what is happening. Okay, you got to trade what is happening. Okay, plan, right? Plan. Okay, but if the tape's not lining up with your thesis, okay, then you have to listen to the tape, the price action. Okay, there goes my little TED talk for the morning, right? Let's get back to futures. Kind of like the same thing, right? Now futures, I'm going to be using, Phantoms, we always talk about multiple time frames, multiple time frames, but multiple asset classes. Okay, forex, stocks, futures, forex, options, even crypto, right? So, I'm using options to help me with my futures trading because there's no collar trade, if you will, in the S&P futures. Okay, so it's a hit point. So if the SPX gets up to 60.55, okay, from now until whenever, okay. What does that look like? What price is that? Because you could kind of do the difference. Okay, S&P futures is trading 60.30, while the SPX, it's about 25-30 points difference, right? And S&P futures are up, okay, are more than that. So S&P futures could be like 60, 80, 85, give or take. Okay, so that will help you with your futures trading. Okay, so we have this breakout, right? Okay, great, nice little breakout move. We have a new impulse move. We have a new level of control now, right? Great. So could we retest? Okay, we had, of course, what was once all-time highs. Okay, and as you can see, I have this green box over here on the other side. Could be a retest. Okay. All right, just kind of change that from red over here to green on this side. We have the rising 20 people moving average as well over here in the S&P futures. Okay, so I'll make a note of that really quickly here. What is this? Comes in at 59.15. I know y'all might not be able to see the numbers very clearly right now, but it'll be a bit better when I get down to the darker background in a moment. All right, so basically 59 handle in S&P futures is going to be a decent little hit point where we have the rising 20-period moving average on the daily on S&P futures and what's called that flip zone. Okay, or I should say retest area. All right, just making a note of that right now in the higher time frames. All right, you'll see it a little bit better when I get down. So that comes about, just right down, 59.15 down to 58.87s on the S&P futures. Okay. NASDAQ finally broke at a new high. Okay, finally kind of caught up, right? Kind of caught up. Now, over the past couple of days, right, just kind of digestion, right? So we have a couple of small little bars here, small little bars, as you can see, candles, if you will. All right, let me see, I drew this illustration here really briefly. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but, here's the price action down here, just drawing the impulse correction segment waves on the monthly time frame, drilling down to the daily time frame, multiple time frame analysis, monthly, and then we drill down to the weekly and daily. Okay, but long story short is we are here. Okay, we are here now, right? So we finally broke out. This equals this. So finally broke out. We were basing, could not break no new lows, basing, and then finally the election, as a catalyst, kind of popped the NASDAQ up. Okay. Now, same thing, is it going to continue higher? Potentially. Okay. We could come lower before we go higher. Okay. Everybody's kind of like calling for like a crash now. Again, it's always funny when markets make new all-time highs. It's like, oh, here comes a crash. Here comes a crash. I mean, it's just online stuff. So just be careful. Okay. VIX, which I'll get into in a moment as well, is very low. So we'll see, right? Things are all things being equal. Not to be political, but wars and things like that, that could affect the market. But right now, we could have a time where, people are trying to digress. Okay, war is bad, right? So, we would have to have probably something as a major catalyst to let these markets drop. Okay, so just be careful with, we've been bullish, and doing very well right now. Okay, if a crash comes, great, let it happen. Okay, we know how to trade the way down. I'm not even wasting time on that. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna save some time here on industrials and Russell 2000. Okay, we will see. Now, Russell 2000 did not break an all-time high. So the small caps are, which is typically more favorable for, or do better during rate drops, okay, which we are still in a rate drop environment. But you can see Russell on a weekly time frame, has not poked new highs yet. So we'll see if that could kind of follow suit. But again, we could come lower before we go higher, right? So, just be careful, be aware of where you are on the charts if you're looking to buy into this area here. Okay, today I'll just make a note here. Well, not quite, but if we were to gap down below this would be what's called an island gap. But we're not developing that just yet. All right, let me try to get to futures here. I'll go to the darker background here so y'all can see. Map out some Globex trap levels. All right, so I got monthly, weekly, daily. Okay, monthly, weekly, daily, top-down approach. I got the 60-minute time frame upper left here. Okay, I got the 30-minute down here, 5-minute here, 2-minute here. All right, I'm gonna pop up in the 60-minute time frame. Map out what's called our Globex, so 1 hour time frame of the S&P futures. Oops, sorry about Sol's movement. Map out the Globex high, represented by that blue line there. Globex low. There. All right, the overnight session. All right, you can see yesterday we had a little like grindy drop here. All right. Didn't give back too much there yesterday. Not much. And the setup is okay. If I have Globex low and then we have a institutional level of demand below Globex low, that would be a nice little what's called a bear trap to get bullish, right? So if I look down and left, we do have some demand down here, right, folks? Okay, so this is something that you kind of want to map out. Just take this box here. All right, there is something right below here. I'll put a price on that in a moment. S&P futures about 6,000. Now we could get a little bit lower than 6,000 to maybe further trap some short sellers, thinking that this market's just going to like collapse back down or drop down. Okay, so that comes in at about, so I get a little conservative with you folks in here. Call it 59.95. Okay, below that. There's a little bit of a level on level in here too. Now this little level down here that's developed during the overnight session. I would also note here that there's a daily, not a daily low, but there's a regular trading hours low right here that comes in at about, what is this low right here? 85 handle, 59.85. So I would suggest maybe pin the 59.95. For a G-trap long. I'll move that price over to the hard right here. Good morning, Angie. And this little thing right here, there's a low. Regular trading hours low right there. That could kind of swipe some people out. Probably some stop losses built up here. Swipe some people out, right? Flush out a little bit, and then that could also be a nice little area for a G-trap. Okay, so basically 59.95 in short, and then 59.85. Okay, decent little areas for a G-trap potential long today. Okay. Remember now down here, all right, I'm gonna make this dark blue. Now, why am I gonna make this blue? Not because I'm Mr. Blue, but blue color code is daily. Okay, daily. So this is that retest. Okay, and I made that note right down here. So down in this area here, basically 59.15 down to 58.87. Okay, this is going to be that retest area where what was once the all-time highs. Okay, we broke it. Okay, we broke it. Okay, and that could be the overall retest to this area down in here. Okay, and this was the basing right before the break. Okay, so that comes in down into here. Okay, so that's a nice little sweet spot right there. Okay, so basically you can pin to keep numbers really short and sweet and simple 5,900. Okay, in the S&P futures. But okay, we got to get through the 59 handle here first. Okay, now if this happens today, there's not a big news catalyst here today, right? Does that make sense? Okay, but tomorrow CPI. Tomorrow CPI 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's something that you want to put or know that's on your radar that could potentially move markets a bit more further. Okay. All right, but let's cross. We'll get there when we get there, and we'll get there when we get there. We have to cross this bridge first, right? If you will. All right. Now, could you potentially take a Globex trap short? I mean, I guess you could. Okay, this is the all-time high. I mean, could you short against the all-time high? There could be a little bit of a liquidity sweep up here if you're on the camp that this market can't go higher, which it might. Okay, this might be the high that got put in for a deeper correction lower. There's a thesis there. Okay, that could be the case. Okay, however, I will say, is that going to be aggressive? Is that going to be higher risk? Absolutely. Okay, because you're shorting just into an all-time high. Okay, so just be careful with that, right? And that's easy. It's very easy for liquidity just to kind of just grind you or spike you out. It's hard to put a stop loss area on this because you're just in the abyss. There's nothing to the left to lean against in terms of a level where there's a objective level of supply to lean against on the price chart. Okay, so just be careful with that, right? A lot of people lose a lot of money trying to, this market's going to come down one day, right? I'll try to catch it down. I'll try to get the best short and all that kind of stuff, right? Well, see, you're gone. You're missing one of the greatest rallies of all time, okay? But it's a bubble. Okay, well, great. I'm making a lot of money right now, okay? I'll short when I'm shorting, okay? Okay. Anyways, I digress. NASDAQ. It's a bubble. S&P is going to be trading $1,000, 1,000 next year. Trust me. Globex high, Globex low. All right, NASDAQ. What's the NASDAQ been doing, folks? Rangy, right? So moved out, broke out, great, okay. Let me get the flip zone here. What is that? Right over here, right? So basically that pink line there. So 20,081. I know it's kind of messy here. So 20,081 right here. Okay, so long story short, this is the flip zone here. Whoopsie. So I'm just going to take this, make this kind of blue here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm short when I'm shorting, man. People even before the election, it's like, yeah, man, this market's gonna crash, man. Yeah, man, yeah. Missing one of the biggest moves, one of the greatest moves post-election. So just be careful with the talking heads on TV and online and social media. Social media is wild now these days. So professional traders tune out the noise of folk. Okay, I listen to the price charts. All right, to the price charts. Okay, I can make money 3 lines, 2 colors. Okay, demand, supply. I digress, right? Bitcoin, everybody's like laughing at Bitcoin. It's all fake, it's all BS. Well, I'm making a lot of money right now on Bitcoin, man. So laughing to the bank. Ha ha ha. Okay. Well, when it crashes, when? Okay, when? People were saying that a long time ago. Right? New highs, approaching 100,000. Okay, thought it was never possible. It's happening. All right, we're touching 87s. All right. Anyways, I digress. So why I got long because more demand than supply, and a green bar took out a red bar right here. Okay, right here. Okay, pretty simple stuff, folks. All right. I've been telling the team at Phantoms all the time. We're making a lot of money on this. Okay, I'm making a lot of money on this. Hopefully, I'll do it. Y'all liquidated some into these new highs yesterday, right? We're going to talk about this more tomorrow. All that kind of good stuff, right? So, anyways, I digress. All right, NASDAQ, okay, so 20,008, 20,810, All right, I'll just make that, well, I already made it blue, right? All right, that's gonna be the flip area there. Okay, again, one was once all-time high. Okay, that could be over here, flip. Now we do, as you notice, we have a couple levels right in here. Don't get me wrong. All right. Now these levels are fairly not great. Okay, they're not high quality as you'd say of Phantoms. Okay, so you might want to even wait for a little bit lower on Nasdaq. Okay, but I can pin this. I won't even put a price on it. I'll just mention it here. Okay, call it 20,950 ish. Okay, 20,950. The reason why it's a nice breakout move here. Don't get me wrong. Right, but a lot of time spent there. It's kind of overnight level. Nasdaq has been basing a bit more than what the S&P is doing. Okay, so if we were to break out lower, we could get a bit of momentum after a long base. If we break out, okay, it could be a bit more fierce, if you will. Okay, so just make sure that you're getting a little bit more. And Nasdaq could be quite volatile and aggressive, right? So that being said, keep a long story short here. Moving on. Okay, you kind of want to focus a bit more, and especially when I'm doing this online on YouTube, all that, right? Recorded. I want to be a bit more conservative. I'd be patiently waiting for the better level at 20,800s, 20,700s down in here. Okay. Cool. That's with the rising 20 period moving average as well confluence on the daily time frame. In addition to everything I just mentioned. Fair enough. Again, I can say the same thing. Okay, if you're going to be shorting a all-time high, be careful with that. There's some thesis there. If you do take it, you take a stab at it, you put some risk on it. Great. If it works out, I hope it does work out for you folks. Right? I'm not being meticulous and saying, oh, I want people to win in this business, right? So just know that that's aggressive, though. However, okay. If you do take a stab at that, okay, just manage your risk, know what you're doing, and if you're wrong, okay, just take your loss and move on, and just know that okay, well, I'm shorting the all-time high, and I know it's going to be low probability, okay, to begin with, okay, and as if you know that, you want to take a stab at it, put some risk on it, okay, you'll be good to go. All right, if it works out, God bless you. If it doesn't, still God bless you. Okay, sneeze. Gold, interesting. Gold. Now, we're just in a major risk-on environment. Risk-on meaning that, there's risk-on and risk-off. Wax on, wax off, right? Karate Kid. So risk-on, risk-off. So risk-on means that, speculative plays, right? You look at Bitcoin flying, markets, stocks, okay? Right? If you ask what's more conservative, stocks or gold, okay? Gold is more conservative, more what's called a safe haven, okay? Now, what's happening right now is money is flowing into risk assets. Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is risky, right? Albeit, right? It absolutely is, right? I love trading it long term and position and swing trading it, okay? Whether you think it's awesome and you think it's going to be the future, or whether you think it's trash and you think it's going to go to zero, right? At the end of the day, it's an asset class, okay? BlackRock came up with the ETF, so all that kind of stuff. So Bitcoin, at the end of the day, it's an asset class, okay? I'm not trading the weird kind of small coins. Bitcoin is going to be the leader within that whole complex, right? The point that I'm trying to say is this, okay? As Bitcoin is rallying, what's gold doing? As Bitcoin speculative plays are rallying, okay, Tesla kind of a speculative play, right? Stocks are at all-time highs, right? S&P, Nasdaq at all-time highs. Even small caps, okay, very close to all-time highs. What's happening to gold? It's pushing down, okay? So now, don't sleep, as the kids would say. Don't sleep on gold, right? So you just keep, now, if we wanted to get long gold, okay, now we have a bigger pullback, okay, with this post-election kind of risk-on environment that we have on right now, right? Okay, so map out your levels. I clean this chart up a little bit better, hopefully nicer. Okay, we have a monthly level down here, 2,400. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Okay, pretty quickly. Okay, but I do have this level right here, 2,540. This is gold futures, by the way, monthly, weekly, daily. 2,540, give or take, down here on the weekly. If we were to continue to get lower, just drinking some coffee here, if we were to continue to get lower, this would be a nice area, okay, to potentially start to build into some bullish, not just day trade, okay, but even maybe some swing and some position and some longer term trading in GLD, gold futures, GLD, anything that's associated with that gold metal. Okay, does that make sense? We have the rising 20 pip moving average right here. We can come deeper in. We have a couple levels down in here. We have a daily level over in here. As you can see, we dipped down to this weekly. We kind of bounced out. We tried to bounce out a little bit here, right? And then it did not follow through. Okay, could not conquer the 20 pip moving average, and we're coming deeper, which is fine. Okay, because you want it to come lower. Okay, you want it to come lower so you can build a position as mentioned. Yeah, and my good friend Monto is mentioning that we're kind of outside of the Bollinger Band here. On the daily time frame, we are outside of the Bollinger Band on this side. Okay, so we are at the rising 20 moving average. So as you can see, there's a couple levels down in here, 25.80. You know, down in here we have some blue and some yellow, blue and yellow color code wise. Okay, in terms of levels. Okay, are going to be what, weekly and daily. Okay, so we're coming into some nice little higher time frame levels to lean against to potentially take some action, okay, on this. Now, GLD, just real quick, just a bit more cleaner, okay? I have a couple of VWAPs here, volume weighted average price. I got the yearly VWAP, and basically I got the big breakouts in gold's anchored VWAP pulled. So there's a major move here, okay? Major move here, okay? So these, if you could see them, these are these little darker kind of grayish, darker color here. These are the major breakouts. I'm talking like the major big brute move breakouts from the monthly chart. This is where they're rebalancing here, okay? So I'm on a daily time frame of GLD now, right? So these are gonna be areas of interest here, just volume weighted average price wise. Now, of course, these are just hit points, okay, rebalancing out, okay? These are hit points. And as always, what we wanna do is look at the level, okay? So as you can see, I kind of got level 1, level 2, level 3 ready to go, okay? Right down in here. Okay, so that comes in, what, GLD at 235, 225, nice even numbers here, 215. Wow, can't make it up, right? 235, 225, 215. Okay, these are gonna be some nice little major hit points, and we get some demand, okay, in here, okay? We can lean against, okay? Now, if we're not there at the level yet, okay, what we could do is you could sell puts on down days. You could sell some puts, willing to own if my options folks in here, okay? If you're trading futures, you kind of have to wait for the level to hit, albeit, okay, but you can start to sell some puts. It's a nice little drop here, okay? We got an outside gap on this week here, okay? So, gold might continue lower, especially if you see Bitcoin and, all these speculative plays continue to just be strong. Now, of course, nothing lasts forever, right? Nothing lasts forever, right? Party must stop, right? Kool-Aid has to be drunken and be done and done at some point, right? So at some point that will die down. Speculative plays will die down, okay? And I wouldn't be surprised. And what we could do is we can help time, okay? Gold into as the speculative plays kind of calm down a bit, okay? Does that make sense? Hopefully, yeah, maybe okay? I'm on a weekly time frame of GLD, okay? So we got some hit points. Just prepare for it in the event that we get down there. Okay, so I'm start to sell some puts. We got a couple of gap fills down in here as well. Okay, to keep it simple. All right, so I can peek at something real quick too. 20 moving average on the weeklies down in here. Okay, so in terms of today for day trading it, we are, as you can see, we came down daily. Okay, we came up. Okay, we bounced out of these levels here. Okay, and we came lower, right? So we already mentioned that, right? Deeper in here, S&P futures price 25.40 handle, okay, on the weekly, 25.40. Might want to write that down. All right. On the daily, we have a couple levels down in here. If we get lower, okay, for a Globex trap here this morning, you can potentially have 25.81, okay, and then this 25.60 handle is looking fairly decent, okay, 25.60. Okay. Now we're already in this 2601. We already tagged that right in there, as you can see. Okay, we're 20 points off that. This is again blue demand here. There's a demand area right here too. You might even want to pin that one too, 25.90. It's gold futures, by the way. All right, because this is still inside of the daily time frame. Okay, we are in demand right now, right? Came lower. Now this is a little bit more fresher. Okay, so this is nice. Okay, but again, are we gonna get down to the 25.41 for the major weekly? That'd be nice. All right, for longer term stuff there. All right, so as you can see, we kind of pinned down there, and we're kind of bouncing off that. Globex high, Globex low. In all fairness, there's the Globex low. There's the Globex high. All right, do we have supply pair? I mean, yeah, we do. Right, so there's a couple levels up in here. All right. To lean against. again, even with this drop, we're still in a macro uptrend. Okay, now the weekly is kind of breaking down a little structure here. Also, I'm looking at the monthly close, which is still, we have a couple weeks for November to close, right? You know, yes, we are in kind of a red bar below last month's low so far. Okay, that could be an engulfing bar, but we can't even talk about that just yet because we still have multiple weeks to close this monthly bar. But that could be interesting. Okay, if that develops, that could be callous to come a little bit more lower on that. All right, but that's not going to happen this morning, right? I mean, we still have a couple weeks to close that Globex high. So, anyways, the point that I'm trying to say here is, you know, again, what was once demand, okay, kind of broke out. You know, now supply, just the basic supply demand, right? So, you know, up in here, okay, we got 26.85. Just make that level kind of red, sticks out, okay. Level on level in here. I don't want to mess that line up. Up in here, this is going to be a bit more conservative, 2700, 2705 here. All right, and I want to be more conservative here. There could be a liquidity sweep up here, 2705 here. I remember gold's coming lower into we are at some weeklies as well. You know, not the greatest one, but there's one lower, but some weekly demand is what I'm trying to say. So now that we kind of flushed out a bit more and we found some more some lower demand, okay, we could that could flush us, not flush us, but that could take us a bit more higher. So I grade these out. So these are going to be a bit more. I'd be more cautious is what I'm trying to say. Up here would be a bit more better if we were to get up here. So I'll map this one out in red. All right, this one here would be a bit aggressive. T-trap short, aggressive. All right, 2685, then we got 2505, that might be better. Daily high, not daily high, but regular trading hours high right there as well. All right, moving on, let's see. 5 minutes before open, pre-market quote, SPYs. You know, slight gap down, no big deal. Okay, slight gap down. All right, we're going to kind of talk a little bit about that. That might be a hit point. Probably not going to happen in a day. Qs. You know, slight gap down, not even worth mentioning. VIX. All right, VIX low, crushed. All right, and if you understand options, the team at Phantoms, you know, mentioning that if we get a VIX drop, you know, that could be bullish of the market, not only just from the way that the VIX is dynamic-wise, VIX down, keep it simple, VIX down, market up, VIX up, market down. Okay, but options. Okay, Vana controlling Delta, or Vana, not controlling Delta, but Vana. So I don't want to get into that right now. Keep it simple, you know, VIX up, market down, VIX down, market up. All right, I'll map this out as well for intraday. Let me see, so we got VIX high here. We got VIX low here. All right, kind of map out kind of the midpoint. This is a VIX on a small time frame, you know. All right, if the VIX continues lower, bullish. If the VIX kind of fades and grinds higher, it could be, you know, bearish. I would just be careful saying bearish, but we could have a down day, of course. Q's already talked about that. IWM, be careful with this. We are at supply here. All right, I know everybody's trying to root for this to kind of get breakout, but we'll see. You know, markets might be a little exhausted a little bit here, but maybe trying to take a little bit of a break. GLD, we kind of went over that quickly. TLT, we talked a little bit about that. We don't even have time right now, but in the Phantoms room, we kind of went heavy on that. Apple, I am long Apple. I still have some options that expiring this week. Okay, they're probably, you know, for like 88 cents or something like that. All right, you know, I'll talk to the team about that tomorrow. All right, probably gonna be a loss on these. Right, small little cents there. But you know, Apple today, no gap. so far. Amazon, slight gap up. All right, I had a beautiful trade on Amazon last week for the team. Google, pretty interesting. The XLC communication sector is a bit more stronger coming into this week off the back of last week. So it'll be pretty interesting to see. Google, slight gap down. This basing might be interesting. There could be a liquidity sweep, so just be careful. But this basing is pretty interesting because if we kind of break above here, we might be able to see a little bit of a squeeze. Google might be jealous. Meta. Meta is in the communication sector as well, I believe. Let me check my facts. And the communication sector is fairly strong coming into this, as mentioned. It is Meta. So Meta's interesting. Now Meta was pretty cool because last week we talked about this, where we had a sweep, a liquidity sweep here real quick, painting that bar, came up. Now Meta does have an outside gap here today, folks. Meta close here, outside gap here. So Meta is on the list for bullishness, communication sector being strong as well. The only caveat is we are coming into a gap fill right there. So, just be patient with it, okay? As you can see, Meta's kind of been basing overall, okay? But this could be a base break potentially, okay? This could be a base break here, all right? But Meta's an overall kind of a base. Markets at all-time highs, Tesla's through the roof, a couple other stocks are kind of moving, all right? But Meta's kind of quietly kind of just calmed down in its range overall, okay? But it has an outside gap, okay? And the communication sector is a bit more stronger this week. Tesla, we absolutely crushed Tesla in a good way, humbly speaking. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Want to be a little careful with this now. All right. I want this to come lower. I'm still going to work on this. The hype is still not done just yet. All right. But we'll see. Just I got some levels here that I'm looking at to see how it kind of reacts and responds. Similar to the S&P, right? After we break out a new high, we could kind of calm down and kind of calm down a little bit here. Digest a bit, and I will see how this kind of sets up. I'm not done with Tesla. Okay. By the way, it's in my long-term portfolio, long shares, kind of all that stuff. We talked about this for a long time. I'm going to move on though. All right, humbly speaking, AVGO, another one of my fave, kind of similar to Tesla. I mean, not Tesla, not similar to Tesla, it's similar to Meta, where it's kind of like basing ranging here. But the gap's not really giving me anything to shout about here. MSTR, another big one here. Bitcoin, covered Meta. Microsoft, Microsoft, what are you doing? NVIDIA, long NVIDIA for the record, for earnings as well. Slight gap up here. All right, we got long NVIDIA down here for earnings. We already took a little bit of profit on that. Anyways, moving on. All right, NVIDIA today, slight gap up, midpoint of yesterday's range. AMD, nothing too crazy there. All right, let's get to the charts. Open. Spies out the gate, try to pop a little bit there. Let this fill in. Let's take a quick peek at internals really quick. Advanced declines, negative 900. Not super extreme, but down there. Vol D on the NYSE, slightly down, negative 2.2. Extreme would be negative or positive 3. VIX hanging out. Come on. As you can see, Meta right out the gate. One of the only ones I had outside gap. Netflix, all-time highs. Netflix fairly decent too, coming out of it's a 1, 2, 3 go here. 1, 2, 3 go. Netflix has some continuation momentum. A lot of things gapped up, fade down a little bit so far. I'll be patient with Meta. We do have this bar here to lean against. All right, Q's just kind of in yesterday's range. All right, so far we have slight gap up on a lot of things here, but Fed move down. I think it's fell in for me. Financials Philly holding up their strength. So right now, Netflix is the only one that kind of has fall through so far, a little bit here in the morning. Want to be a little patient with longs today, folks. Tesla, Mark, I mean, we made so much money on Tesla, it needs to calm down. What do you want to do with Tesla? I'm not going to short it. I'm not shorting it. That's for sure. And, you know, right now, it's kind of come down lower here. I wanted to see if we can get down here into this little gap fill area here. Let's see. Meta's like the only one that's kind of playing ball to the bullish side along with Netflix. Microsoft a little bit here too. Microsoft, we have something here too. Let's see, Meta. Let me see. So if you wanted to try to get some meta action here, it's one of the stronger ones. What's Google doing? Google's not following through as much, huh? That'll be a cheaper kind of communications play. But Meta definitely, anybody already hit Meta? Decent little outside gap. So if you picked up, say, the 597 halves, those are going decent there for a day trade here. 597 halves here. Delta. It's going for 640. SPY's trying to click higher here. So I got filled at 640. All right, spread's kind of annoying with Meta sometimes. So we get a continuation on that, but it is coming up to a level. It's kind of filling in here. Microsoft, not the greatest location, but it's like mid in everything, monthly, weekly, daily wise on the higher time frames. But it's trying to hold some bids here. The video looking good too. Got a nice little positive COG. All right, I'm already long the video for the swing trade. Earnings next week, so that's another big deal there. All right, we got some nice swing on this. But options at the 150 strike for like $3, 5 something. I like over the 6s. But for today, fairly decent. I like this positive COG here that kind of got put in right here. Let's see. So if we pick up, say, the, you can maybe pick up the 148 for $2. That's not bad. The bottom one there, the 148. If I want Delta 150, that would be 35. That'd be a $1.50. $1.35. So if you pick up the 148 strike from the video here, day trade even, not bad here. The video. Boom, 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 boom. All right, got filled at right there, basically 222s. Let me get long this account here. All right. Google trying to fill in. Google. Outside day, 1, 2, 3, go here. Potential Google got some stuff here. Google long call. Easy, 185 for 85. Done. I'll do some other account over here. $185. Boo-da-boo. Come on, man, too slow. Yeah, for the 183. All right, let me see. Meta, Media, Google, Microsoft. Yeah, it's tough on Microsoft to trust that because of the monthly, weekly, daily location. Somebody did mention Tessie. You know, I would like for it to come down into an area here, so I just want to be a little more cautious. I'm welcoming it to come down potentially. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but you know, I'm not looking to short this because right now this Tesla's in a major short squeeze, like crazy, like billions of dollars, like $5.2 billion. Tesla ripped short sellers out. All right, Meta new high. TP zone. All right, I'm at a little late too, so from 640 to about what, $7. All right, TP zone, take some profit on Meta. All right, gross. I got a 680, maybe 685, looks like. Ooh, I fall apart right through my heart. I fall apart right through my heart. Oh, you know it before. And I saw. We get that 7. Yeah, my TP a little bit more here, so matter. Ooh, I fall apart. You said it first. Okay, nice. I got a 710. Sorry, 705. Forgive me. Confirmation. Google new high, looks like. Not a lot. Should have went higher delta on that. Man, the babe AVGO's not. No. Semis are not having a great day, so I want to be careful with NVIDIA. Yeah, NVIDIA semis are being a little weird right now. Microsoft creeping. Netflix, somebody grab Netflix. It's in the abyss, all-time high. Damn. Netflix is certainly not chilling. All right, Meta new high. All right, 755. Nice little smooth buckle on these real quick, right off open. So not pretty nice. Can't be mad at that. All right, I'll grab these. I got a 740. I'll take it. People started leaving once I started singing. But I don't give a boop. Google, new high. Google. From 83 to 95, we gotta put everything into perspective. Cheaper. I probably should have went high delta on this, but it is what it is. Not bad for a little trade here. All right, cool, not bad on that. Still going, just made another new high there if you want to scale out some more. All right, let's scale out some more. Nice little trade there, selling them out there a little bit. Ooh, I fall apart. Didn't know it before. Do I swing trade? Yes. What kind of question is that? I do everything, man. I day trade, I swing trade, I long-term invest. I do everything, brother. I do everything. You think I'm a one-trick pony? Swing trading's easy, man. If you could day trade, man, you could do anything. You're on top of the world. Yeah. Longer term is kind of boring. Like monthly, weeklies is good. Some good money there. Of course, I got long-term investments, right? That's why I like Tesla, all that kind of stuff. TP some Meta here. I do everything. It's a chart, man. It's a freaking chart. If you want to swing trade, just go to the monthly, weekly, daily. That's it. You want to long-term invest, go to the monthly and weeklies. That's it. It's as simple as that. People complicate it too much. All right, this is going for 8, from 640 to 825. Shout out, what is it, Angie? Angie mentioned this? Angie B. Angie B. Grease lightning. Do you swing trade, bruh? If you see the way I day trading is like a lot harder than swing trading. Swing trading is just monthly, weekly, daily, folks. So yes, and I recommend to do multiple styles of trade, multiple asset classes. I trade everything: stocks, futures, forex, options. It's blessing. Oh, shimmy, 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 cocoa pop. That's Blessing? Oh shit. I should have known it was Meta. Meta's she's in a disguise. So this is all a blessing because I suck at day trading Meta. Google, new high. Sandra B. All right, I'm out of here, folks. I gotta go. Take preference from Google. All right, take preference from Google. Let's see, NVIDIA. NVIDIA looking, I mean, we need to conquer VWAP here, reclaim VWAP on that time frame. If you put your stop loss, say 144.89 below this little gap fill here, I know you might not be able to see it on the chat because stupid iPhone here, 144, like called 144.80. Just see what that looks like. So if stock gets to 144.80, we bought for 222, you're probably risking about $1.15, $1.15, $1.20, right there, price slicing wise. Just analyzing the risk. All right, bought them at 222, they're floating down 184, 183, so they're down about what, 20, 40 cents, 40 cents, 35, whatever, right? So, you probably risk about, $1.15, $1.20 in the event you want to give it a little time and space. Whoopsie. And you have your stop loss, say down here. Sometimes Thinkorswim is annoying. Sean Callahan, yes sir. Toss account balance is highest it's ever been. Thanks, Blue. Yes sir, my man. And not to put your personal information out there, but I think you're from B-Town, Boston. Yes, sir, this is why I do it. I'm not internet famous, I don't want to be. I'm just a real trader, doing real things, trying to teach, or train, I should say, people who are looking to do the same. No F's given. No F's given. All right, it's your stop loss down there, 144.70 handle, give or take on NVIDIA.com. And nice little positive COG back above VWAP. We'll see if that continuates there. Still in the swing trade there. And Meta, good. Shout out Blessing. Google, good. Shout out Google. www.google.com. All right. And I'm out. If you want to learn a little bit more about this, you can join Phantoms. If you do, great. If you don't, I don't give a shit. Go to TradePhantoms.com, click that register button there. November 14th, this Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, name, email, great. You'll get registered for about a 90-minute class, give or take. Here's the agenda. You can read. If you can read, I barely can. Again, it's day trade, swing trade, long-term wealth management, everything, right? Stocks, futures, forex, options, the team at Phantoms, definitely not shorting Bitcoin. We're catching all of this. So not just in Bitcoin, but in other products like Bitto, iBit, right? All this kind of stuff. So missed coin, which sucks. I'm not too happy about that, but we slayed and destroyed Tesla. So, you can't catch them all. This is not Pokemon. But Mr. Black, Mr. Green, I'll host that for you. And if you like it, great. If you don't, cool. Shake your hand. See you later. Goodbye. Good luck. I'll see y'all in trading. God bless you, my Phantom. I'll see y'all later today, tomorrow morning. We're live in the trade room. God bless. Take care. Blue out.